This is our VogelzangTR007. Let's see if I can turn this light out here and get a better angle of what happens when you burn wood in one of these guys. There's two dampers on the front of it. That damper is allowing air to travel through some stainless steel tubes that are in the top of the wood burner. That damper is your normal inlet air. Traditional wood stoves, you rush air into the air box and then the flames are coming off the wood. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to illustrate that this fire actually burns the gas coming off the wood, and the fire physically flips upside down and your flames are coming from the tubes because we close the normal damper, which is the levers pulled out, and we open what they call the high burn air path. And plus there's all kinds of other cool stuff in the top of this wood burner. Let's take a look again at the flames. And this also is a self-cleaning. When you get the high burn going really well, the flames get to be around a bluish white color, and they come down and basically chisel. The flame basically licks at the glass and chisels and chips and burns off all the carbon deposits and cleans your glass. It's claimed to be almost a self-cleaning, and it really does work. Once in a while I'll have to get in there and clean the glass, but this year I started. This is my first fire for the winter of 2019, and I didn't even clean the glass. It was a little bit dirty, but looks like I can see through it now. It's the biggest Vogelzang, just Google it, TR007. It's the biggest wood burner they have. This was about $1,100 shipped. It's 4 cubic feet, thereabouts. And my only advice to you, oh, well, there's other features too, like there's a drawer down here, and that's my wood ash. What's really nice about this fireplace is there's a square metal plug in the very center of the wood burner. You lift the plug up with your poker, and you're now your drawer is in. You lift the plug and you look down in that hole and you see the drawer. Well, you got all the coals. You just scrape the coals through the 4-inch by 4-inch opening. You scrape whatever ash you want to down into the drawer, and it could be literally coals, but for some reason that area down there is choked off with any oxygen, and your coals end up turning into ash. But you don't have to stop your fire. You basically rake in the vast majority of all your ash and a lot of your coals, and put the plug back in, then rake your coals back up and throw another piece of wood on, but you never lost any heat. You didn't have to wait for the fire to burn down to clean it out. Again, I said it's about 4 cubic feet. It holds a 24-inch long piece of wood, and it's got a really decent flat surface on top. This is one of those little no electricity required fans that you can buy that has some interesting little VogelzangTR007 devices. It doesn't put out any air. It's just a little gizmo. I mean, they're worthless, but they're kind of cool. They turn and burn without power. Nice flat surface. I've been trying to figure out how hot does it get on the surface and how useful that surface is, and I think that it's useful during a power outage for a few different things. Of course, if I riveted stainless steel on top of that, I'm pretty sure it could be a Gretel. But who wants to do that? So anyway, there's the Vogelzang. This is my third winter, and every winter it heats up a odd floor plan house. We aren't an open floor plan. We're a 2-story log house, all in, equally dispersed. Total is about 2,400 square feet. And the house was built in the 70s, so it's not an open floor plan. So I strategized fan placement and heats the whole house. Alrighty, well, that's it for the Vogelzang. And anyone who's interested in getting one, check on Amazon, check on US Stove. This one was made in China. This one was not something USA made, and this part here, the top plate, could have been another gauge or two thicker. And for Pete's sakes, anyone out here, this is called one of the EPA friendly stoves, and yeah, I didn't like that whole theme. I was just after a firebox that was huge, and I tore out all that EPA garbage. Don't do that with this stove. Put it back in. Leave it alone. It works. If you don't run, there's some boards in the top up there that are like the panels that are on the space shuttle. Real lightweight boards on the top, and then a flame-proof cloth blanket on top of that, and the stove actually does this. The smoke comes up and around that fireboard and around and goes up your flue. If you take that stuff out, your collar back there will glow. This part of your stove will get to be about 850 degrees. Your collar will be about 950 and approaching meltdown. And you'll be in the middle of the wintertime with a problem. A stove that's about ready to melt. Keep the EPA stuff in. We're nice and toasty here. And I used to have a fireplace insert, and I demoed all that out and opened this up, and we're using a fan now to pull the air around, and the air goes around the stove and shoots out through our living room. And of course we've got old fans and things everywhere that are moving air. That's a 8-inch collar, by the way. Enjoy.